Well, yesterday was bloody crazy. Well, we're going to start here. So, obviously, we were looking for this kind of thing. Didn't happen. Um, Down to the lower time frames. Yeah, you can see here, like, we were around this area and we were expecting or looking for a pullback back into our premium supply. These are the higher regions. I was particularly interested in 4395, which we had a TPO level for. You can see it up here. Where's it gone? It's around here. I have just changed the tick size, changed that back to 1. Yeah, it was around 4395 there. We did also mention that VWAP close, which was pretty much bang on, as you can see there. We just add that to this chart. You can see completely huge rejection. But just look at this wild price action. This is why it's so difficult sometimes when you're trading against fundamentals like Jerome Powell and things like that. Is because the market moves down, it then establishes its range, its sort of direction for the day. You can see it is putting in new highs, higher lows, higher highs, and then you get into that sort of 2 p.m. New York time and you explode because, well, I think Jerome said something about staying higher for longer with rates or something like that. I don't really care, to be honest. I just trade the charts, and I did manage to make money in this madness, and I just tapped out around 6 p.m., 5 p.m. So I was like, yeah, that'll do us. But you can see here, we dropped into this sort of 30-minute OB here, and then for the time that we were in there, it was just sort of like scrambling around. It took the liquidity below, it shot up, and it came back down, tapped back into that demand that it built up here, and then it shot back up, grabbed the VWAP. So it was still technical despite all the madness, but it just happened at such a velocity, it just made it very difficult to trade. You then obviously break those lows, you you accelerate straight back up into this area of supply up here, and then you drop it ever since. The ideal goal yesterday, or the ideal situation, was to establish that trend and just follow it up into these sort of higher areas that we were looking at. But unfortunately, it didn't give us it. So where we're at today is we've basically just jumped down into this 15-minute demand zone here that was unmitigated until yesterday. So you see that area there. That is overall, when we look at this sort of swing range that we're in. So we consider this low, our weak low, and we consider this our strong swing high. So this is the swing range we're in. You see we're coming into this sort of 786 level now. We've tapped into this area twice now. You can see there's the initial bounce. Now we're coming below. This white line here, this is the settlement from yesterday. So if you go into regular trading hours, you'll see that's where price closed up, 4294.75. So we go into electronic trading. That's going to play a part later today. So we go back onto electronic trading. This is how the price is moving in futures, while New York is closed. We do also have another unmitigated area of demand, and this is the one I'm more interested in because you can see this was the 15-minute, or this was the zone. This was the previous one that got mitigated straight away, and then look at the velocity that you take off, and that was the one that broke this structure, and it had a pullback, and then it broke more structure. You know what I mean? This was like the beginning. I did mark out this 1 hour candle when we were in this range. I did have that as one of my AOIs. You see we bounced out of that, but that is obviously mitigated now. But yeah, this 15-minute candle is what I like today. Ideally, we drop into that before New York. I think that's very doable. It'd be nice to drop into here for New York. Look at some slow time frame structure changes, find a nice long, and carry that up all the way back up to settlement, which I imagine is going to happen around New York time. And then from that point on, it's pretty much, you're not looking for shorts because you're in like discount short territory. So like you shouldn't really be taking shorts below the 0.5. You should be taking shorts in the higher top of the range, you know what I mean, above the 0.5. So you know, we shouldn't really be looking for shorts unless we get into these regions. So this is sort of your line in the sand for the day. If you get above 4333, then you can start thinking about shorts. You may potentially get this VWAP close like yesterday, but bearing in mind we have left behind this TPO here, 4334, which is around there. We've got this one, 4395, and of course we had that one, I think, as well. Where'd that come from? That is from the 21st of September. Yeah, so we've left some inefficiencies behind. So it would be nice to get another bounce before we break this low. I do expect this low to go. This will go eventually, in my opinion. It is a weak low. Why is it a weak low? Because it failed to do its job in breaking the overall daily trend. So this is a strong high. This is a weak low. This is a lower high. So we're expecting this to go. Yeah, I think that's probably enough to go on today. I just would, unless you're looking for scalp shorts and you're really good on your risk management, I just wouldn't be shorting unless you're in here with conviction. So, you know, if you really nail down onto the low time frames and you see a real tight invalidation, maybe you get, you know, you've broken this low here, so this was the high that took out the low. Maybe you get a little move back up into that sort of area of supply, premium supply around here, around this sort of range here, around Asia. But you could potentially be looking for that, but you are fighting a sort of, you're fighting a area of discount. Do you know what I mean? So like the overall probabilities isn't with your favor on the higher time frame, so you'd have to be very much, you know, you can enter here, you could have them stop there, and you could be targeting these areas potentially. But you know, the trade for today is this, in my opinion. I think if we can continue to drop into this area today before reaching the settlement, I think that's a really nice play for today. And then we can start looking above that 0.5 region for really nice shorts if we do get that continuation. It's going to have to be pretty crazy, and considering the wild price action we had yesterday, it may be unlikely. It may just want to chill out a little bit. So, you know, we'll see. Again, we're not really getting those nice broad strokes in price action that we were getting couple of weeks ago. You know, we're not getting these sort of nice moves. Well, this was pretty rangy and choppy, but we're not getting like these nice moves like this, you know what I mean, like these long broad strokes of price action. Now we're getting this sort of really high frequency volatility. So, you know, if that's not your wheelhouse, or you're not really skilled enough for that, then it's probably best you just wait for overall areas and maybe stay out. But if you are watching low time frame price action, make sure you're securing your trades quickly with the take profit, and you are securing it with a stop loss also. You see we are getting a little bit of a bounce now, but you know, nothing major. We are still in a downtrend on the day. So yeah, remember this level, and remember this level. 433. Okay, thanks guys.